to start now, or we should wait like 2 minutes to wait for more participants?
Hello, Wael. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Wael, for giving that session. It's a much needed one. I guess we can wait for 2 minutes and we can start, if you don't mind.
Sure, don't worry. So, hello everyone. I'm Wael Khalil and I manage the Fab Lab, Berytech Fab Lab, which is a prototyping space or a maker space. It's a place where we convert ideas into physical functional prototypes. It's where the magic happens, where things come true. So what we're doing today is I'm gonna introduce to you a bit about a brief introduction about new product development, what happens during a new product development, mainly hardware and some software products. And based on that, and then we're gonna go through just let me check. So we're gonna introduce the new product development process. We're gonna briefly introduce the product design, how we do the product implementation usually, what is a product requirements document briefly, لما نفوت كتير بالتفاصيل, and then I will introduce for you Berytech Fab Lab, which is our makerspace. To begin, I want this session to be a bit interactive because usually we do that in lecture hall and people ask questions. So first of all, please at least write down in the chat what do you do or your background, in which field do you work, or what startup are you in your startup, what project are you working on? Is it software, is it hardware, are you an engineer or architect, or what's your background, because that affects how we go through the presentation. So either unmute and introduce yourself briefly, or just write it down in the chat. All right, so electrical engineer, manufacturing, great. And have you ever developed products before? Anyone has ever developed any product before? You can raise the hand, press raise hand if you want. All right, is everyone with me? Can you hear me, guys? Journalist, cool. All right. So in general, you are all, or yeah, most of you are engineers. Malak is a teacher. What do you teach? Which subject? French. Oh, all right. طيب. Great. So as I said, our presentation is gonna target more hardware products, but it applies on mostly all types of products. I'm gonna share my screen and let's start the presentation. So yes. So a new product development usually covers the complete process of bringing a new product to market. So it's mainly the transformation of any product, any market opportunity into a product that is available for sale. And this product could be anything from a tangible product or an intangible product. A tangible product is a hardware product, something that you can touch, you can feel, something you sell and buy usually in markets, service or experience. It could be massage, it could be anything related to hospitality, it could be tours to villages. It depends on يعني, it's not something physical, so it's intangible. And the central aspect of a new product development is usually a product design and some business considerations. So you usually have to take into consideration the design of the product and the business considerations, because for sure we do not want to produce a product or design a product that no one wants to buy or does not have any demand. Usually the new product development, it overlaps, especially in hardware products, it overlaps a lot with engineering design process, mainly with hardware and software products. And the new product development requires an understanding of many factors, mainly the customer needs, which are affected by the cost, the time, and the quality usually. The competitive environment, what's available in the market, who's doing what, who's doing your product or service, how are they doing it, the price, the quality, everything related to the competitors or the market, the environment of the market that you are tapping into, and the nature of the market. We will go into details in a good example later. So as we said, to develop a new product, we require an understanding of the customer needs, the competitive environment, and the nature of the market. So usually when we want to develop a new product, we go through various stages. And those stages, it applies to mainly all products, software or hardware or whatever the new product is. بس بالتفاصيل تتغير. So the product development phase, for example, it differs from product to product. So when we want to develop a new product, usually we start with ideation, we go into design, manufacturing, and then we introduce this product into the market. بالتفاصيل, يعني in general, most of those phases or the stages goes as the following. Step one is usually the new product strategy. It's where we set as innovators or as entrepreneurs, where we have defined the goals and the objectives of the new product. After that, we go into idea generation, and idea generation usually happens when at various levels. It happens between the team members who are brainstorming internally, and it happens externally with the clients who are buying the product or who are asking for the product, or the organization who wants to develop this product. So usually external brainstorming includes all the stakeholders who will be affected by the product. It could be the government, it could be a municipality, it could be the community itself. So if إذا بلدية عم تعمل development the product that will be used by أهل المنطقة, the final stakeholders should be included at some point in the brainstorming to develop something that they need, not to develop something that we make them, convince them later to buy it, instead of making something that they want from the beginning. After that, we go into the screening, where we condense all those brainstorming ideas into defining an idea of our product. So after the screening, we go into the concept setting. So we set the detailed concept of the product. What will the product do? What's the requirements? What are the requirements of the product? It should do, what it should have, what it should include. Some specifications that define this product. بس بعدنا ما فتنا بالتفاصيل. يعني بعدنا ما فتنا بالديزاين والانجينيرينج ديزاين وكل هالديتيلز. هولي بيفوتوا بالproduct development phase. We will talk about them in the slide after. So after that, we do the concept setting. بصير عندنا مثل theoretical idea of the product. كيف حتشتغل، كيف حتتصرف، كيف نحن حنعملها هالproduct. We do the business analysis to understand. يعني they are done in parallel. To understand the costs and the profit. نحن كيف بدنا نبيع هالproduct، كيف حتجيب لنا مصاري. شو الجول تبعنا. Does it meet the company objectives? If we meet all those requirements, we go forward with the product development. It's the biggest phase in any it's the biggest phase in any product development process. After developing the product, we do the market testing, and طبعا market testing depends on the product. During if we are developing a software application, usually testing is we follow the agile project management process. So testing is iterative. We always test the application day by day with the client, and it is edited or updated easily. As for in hardware products, usually testing takes more time. The prototyping phase, the development of the prototype takes more time, and the testing phase takes more time to prove that your product works. But it is iterative. That's why we prototype. So we test, and after that, when everything works out correctly, we go into the commercializing phase where we introduce the product to the public. So the product development process usually product design or product implementation. Do you still hear me, guys? I don't know if I'm going very fast or. All right. طيب. So the product development okay, so the product development process مثل ما قلنا is divided into two phases: the product design and the product implementation. And in the product so in the product design, it's where we develop the high level and the detailed level design. So we develop everything related to the requirements, how the product will meet those requirements, the engineering design, the technical designs, the components needed in this design, everything related that تفاصيل المملة تبع developing a new product. And the product implementation, it's when we finalize the prototyping phase, we finalize technical design, and we finalize everything related to the requirements, ومنفوت بالتفاصيل تبع mechanical electrical designs, and refining those designs according to our tests. We set the test process that will be used later to validate our design or to validate our prototype. So this is the product development process. Do you have any questions till now before moving to the product design stage? We will go into details in this.
Hi, Wael.
Yes.
أنا عندي سؤال. ليش كل الأورينتيشن تبع engineering؟ يعني لأنه based على اللاب وعم نحكي عن شيء خاصه بهذا الموضوع، أو لا إنه it's a term؟
شو قصدك؟
يعني كتير شفنا الترم engineering يعني بكذا محل، مثلا engineering design, the detail of engineering design, engineers. إنه is it related لأنه أنت عم تحكي عن الفاب لاب أو من هذا الكونسبت، أو لأنه يعني بشكل عام نستعمل هذا الترم إذا نحن we're designing something؟ مثلا إذا أنا عم بعمل كالسات.
إذا عم تعملي كالسات هلا بناحية الكالسات, if you are developing a new type of fashion products that are new, يعني الكالسات معروف كيف بينعمل, حتوصي عليه عند مصنع الكالسات, بس there should be a certain design at some point. مزبوط. This design is graphic design in your case.
Okay, so أنت بس حطيت الترم based on.
Yes, أنا حذرتكم بالأول إنه this presentation mainly targets hardware products, and by hardware I mean anything from a غسالة to a fridge to a phone to a drone to a anything that collaborates mechanical components and electronics. it applies to other products. يعني in your case it's much simpler. Your design
graphics, it's more
is an image, for example. فهمتي قصدي؟ And the machines you use are really advanced to an extent انه بتحطي الصورة والمكنة بتطبعها.
صح.
So it's a matter of يعني you're not designing a new product. You're عم تنزلي new product that with a certain design that is graphical more than a new phone, a new laptop, a new ventilator like what we're doing right now, for example.
Okay, thank you.
Well, okay, so هنكمل بالdesign phase. So in the design phase, usually the design phase of any product is it's where everything is affected later. So the design phase affects everything concerning your product من ناحية the quality of the product, the time taken to produce this product, the cost of the product. So according to statistics, we noticed that most of the product, the design stage usually takes around 70 or 80% of or 70% of the entire life cycle of the product design process, and it affects 70 to 80% of the quality. So our decisions that we are made بأول project اللي هو in the design phase usually affect the quality on a very long term. It's very hard in later stages to change the design, and it costs a lot, especially if we are developing many products. إذا عم نحكي عن كلسات for example، إذا هذا الكلسات عم نخيطه خياطة، عم نعمل القماشة برا بالصين ونخيط الديزاين ونرجع نخيط الفابريك برا ونرجع نخيط القماشة بلبنان for example، and the design is wrong, we can't redo the design. ما فينا نرجع نبعث صورة جديدة يصنعوا لنا إياها لأنه it costed يعني راحت البضاعة على الكب. So doing the design process in a very efficient way affects the whole project من ناحية time and cost. بالنسبة للduration كمان, the design usually hardware projects take from 3 weeks to 3 years. So on an average of 1 year. So some products, an iPhone أكيد بده كتير وقت to develop. So developing something that is very advanced, iPhone 10 اللي شفتوه last year بلشوا فيه من 3-4 years, and they reiterate on existing products طبعا. The output of the design phase usually is the technical drawings and the specifications. So before على design phase عادة specifications, the requirements كل product تعمل product لازم فريش مي او هيدا البرودكت لازم to communicate with this product with a distance of 3 kilometers. هيدا الريكوايرمنت. اما لما نفوت بالسبيسيفيكيشن بنقول انه عم نستعمل this antenna او واي فاي او بلوتوث او this connectivity that would achieve هال requirement. So usually the input of the product design phase is the requirements, and the output are the drawings, the designs, the technical specifications, the electronics design, the design of the printed circuit board of the circuit, the design of the communication, the design of the, it depends on the product. يعني كمان إذا بنرجع على الكلسات, the design of the image that will be on the socks. So the output, the engineering design phase, the output تبعه هو specifications والmanufacturing phase, وهو بيطلع الدراوينجز. المانيفاكتشرنج فيز هو اللي بيستقبل هالدراوينجز وبيصنع البرودكت اللي هي physical. والmanufacturing phase could be either done locally or it could be done remotely أو بالصين أو depends on the product that you are developing, and it depends on the specialization needed. So if we're doing electronics, for example, usually we prototype locally, we build the PCB locally, وبعدين بنبعت على الصين. البورد بلبنان الواحد بكلفنا $10. A professional board يمكن ال 20 حبة بكلفونا $10 بالصين that are done professionally. So everything affects the prototyping development process. So when we want to develop, when we want to do the product design, we have to ask ourselves whole 5 questions, and whole 5 questions affect the design. So those questions should be asked in the beginning, because all the answers will affect the design of your product, and changing any answer later will cost you a lot in terms of time and money. So you have to check how will your product compete, who will lead the development effort of your product, how will you validate the product, how will your business model for acquiring new customers impact your design. يعني كيف بدكم تبيعوا أول product وكيف بدكم تطلعوا مصاري, و how will your new product fit into your product portfolio plan. So if you are a big company, if you are not a startup, usually بيكون عندكم أنتو many different products, بيكون في عندكم a long-term goal. Does this new product fit the long-term goal, fit the other products that you sell, or competes with them, or what should you do based on this idea? In your phase, I doubt إنه حدا منكم has that. Hopefully you do, يعني. But I doubt إنه you already have different products and you are proposing a new product idea. Unless you do, please tell me. So how will product compete? So mainly, this is a good example. إذا بتشوفوا بالصورة اللي على اليمين إن شاء الله تكونوا عم تشوفوها. It represents an example of a new wearable fitness device. إذا نحن بدنا ننزل a new wearable, a new Apple Watch or a new Fitbit, we have to check how this product competes. So the best way to define your product, to check how your product competes, are by using a value, or by using a 2-dimensional positioning map مثل هيدي اللي شايفينها. In this case, on the map في عنا 2 levels, في the price and the functionality. And our products that are existing usually are divided into يا اما ultra low, يا اما basic, يا اما mid range, يا اما super premium, يا اما ultra premium. So نحن البرودكت تاعولنا اللي عم ننزلها وين عم ننزل compete with the Apple من ناحية a high functionality, high price, or is it competing with the early Fitbit اللي هي it's the cheapest price, cheapest functionality, lowest functionality, or are we doing something in between? So when you, as a designer or as an organization, set this, you will identify the most important dimensions of competitive differentiation. So you will decide how your product will compete, what's the added value, how are you guys gonna jump into the market and take a percentage part of this pie. There are many points that are taken into consideration in how you can compete. يعني many competitive factors that affect that. ممكن يكون the price, ممكن يكون the performance, the user experience. Is that you have a product that is it functional? Does it look good? The design appeal, is it targeting a certain type of people? قد ايه حلوه، قد ايه يعني visually، قد ايه فيها design، قد ايه فيها textures، قد ايه فيها color. The quality of the product. الايفون غير النوكيا for example, so the price is affected, the reliability of your product and the service. How are you servicing your client after selling him this product? And some products, especially in let's say agriculture, mainly what we do in agritech, most hardware products require servicing because they are big machinery or machinery that are usually sold to farmers, and they lack the technical knowledge in dealing with hardware products. So servicing is a very major part of the product. It's how you deal with the client, how you help them, how you do the operations, how you do the maintenance. Do you have spare parts? How do you help in all of that? Who will lead the efforts of the development process of your project? Are you designing in-house? Do you have all the skills needed to design this product, or are you outsourcing the design? Are you paying for someone outside your company to do the design? Are you paying for a certain collaborating with شو بدي اقول ديزاينر معروف ليعملكم مثل مثلا الكافيه، يمكن نجار عمل ديزاين مع a known artist to make new cups that are created by this designer. So are you doing that? Is it hybrid? Is your product, are you designing the mechanical components in-house and outsourcing the software, or بالعكس? It depends. So all this is affected by all this affects your design of the product. As for how will you validate your product? When you want to design a new product, when we are designing a new product, we have to check how we want to validate, how we want to test, how we want to make sure that this product works. And the largest risk associated with the new product development is commercial failure. So usually إذا صار في عنا cost overruns, إذا صار في عنا delays, it's always painful. But once the product takes off, we will forget that. أما إذا we develop the product on time and on budget and on specs, and the project and the project was not validated, we lost everything. لأنه the product will not be sold, it's wasted. So fortunately we have many tools that could be used to validate your product, mainly crowdfunding. Usually أو حاليا crowdfunding is used by many startups to check if their product is worth doing by promoting for it on Kickstarters or Indiegogo, and checking who backs their product. And when you back, you pay for your product at a certain price, for example, and this will help you in the development process and the initial production. And once, so you give the clients a good price, they will buy it in a cheaper price, and by that you prove to your investor and to everyone that your product has demand, people are paying money to buy it, and let's go for production. So another way is prototyping. Usually prototyping is the best way to follow when you are developing a hardware product, because we don't want to promise an investor something that we can never reach. And this also happened before on crowdfunding. So some people promoted an idea that they were backed by everyone because the idea was amazing, and at the end achieved, they couldn't deliver, they couldn't submit this idea because it wasn't possible. So prototyping is a major step, especially when you want to demonstrate the project idea. You want to check if this works, you want to check all the requirements, كل التفاصيل. You can also go into low volume tooling. Sometimes when we are developing a product until something that for example, Sliter is a good idea. Usually Sliter is a smart lighter. It helps you stop smoking. So I'm searching for it. So usually Sliter, before they went to market, they developed a cheaper prototype of their product. Okay, I found it. So this is an example of a prototype. So Sliter If you check it right now, it looks like an iPhone. It's a very nice product that helps you stop smoking. But when they wanted to test the product, when they wanted to develop their product, they prototyped it in cheap, and that reduced their cost in the prototyping phase, and they proved that their idea worked. They proved that everything works out that the idea works, the hardware works, the connectivity works, the application works. And then after that, they went for production, producing a very nice product. Once I have the image, I'm going to show you just to get an idea of a new, of a good example of a hardware product developed here in Lebanon, and that went through all those phases that we're talking about. So, and full production sometimes, especially when you are developing a product that cannot be prototyped, and the prototyping costs a lot. مثل SpaceX صاروخ تبع يعني if we are developing a rocket that goes to space, prototyping that costs a lot. So we have to do a lot of design and then build the product itself in the end. So that's when we go to full production directly. But we have to do strong prior validation in the design phase, and then the testing phase of research will go. What is your business model for acquiring, and how it will impact for acquiring new customers, and how it will impact your design? So how are you getting your new customers? How are you selling your product? That affects your design. Do you have a subscription that affects your application? Do you have a purchase, a lease? Do you have hardware? Do you sell the hardware or do you lease the hardware? عم ببيعوا البرودكت أو عم بتأجروها للبرودكت. يعني مثلا if you are developing a vending machine, are you selling the machine or are you renting the machine to the hospital, for example? If you are selling the machine, in the spare parts and in supplying العجين or in supplying the products or supplying the consumers of the machine. If you are renting the machine, you are responsible of everything related to the machine, من operations, maintenance, refilling, material, كل هالتفاصيل. So that affects your design, affects your cost, affects everything in relationship to making money. If you are developing an application with that, if you are developing an aquaponics, hydroponics system that is automated and that gathers data from the hardware, how are you making money? Is the application free, or do you pay for the, is it free and it comes with the hardware, or do you make them pay for the hardware and you have like a subscription fee on the application to get all the services? All this affects your design in terms of software, hardware, spare parts. You want to develop something. If you are taking care of maintenance, you must design a product that has an opening where you can easily go and remove the spare part to change it. Or is it user friendly? You need nice lights, big lights. Is it everything related to the client affects your design? And finally, how your product fit in your portfolio plan. And as I said, if you are a company, usually you have a long-term goal. You have an overall idea for what you were gonna do in your company. So you have to check if this product overlaps with your existing portfolio. Is it better to start a new product, or is it better to to enhance an existing product, for example? Or do you want to expand your portfolio as a company and add to your existing business? This usually happens when with SMEs with Lua. يعني companies that are well established and they have developed multiple products and they are tapping into making new products. Any questions till now before going into chapter 3, اللي هو the product implementation, the prototyping phase and the testing phase? Guys. Anyone? All right, so we're gonna go into the product implementation phase. If you have any questions, just go forward, ask it. So in the product implementation phase, it's where we convert the specifications that we set before into something real, something physical. So launching a product, so launching a product for a hardware startup is similar to spreading a beta version to a software. It's an essential step between the idea and the product. So when we want to create or we want to develop a new product into the market, we have to prototype it first and make sure that it works. So لأرجع فرجيكم. This is slide with so it's a smart lighter that is a final product right now, and the prototype was something much uglier, and it had a black and white screen, 3 buttons. It was bulky. It had a big speaker, but it did the job. It helped people stop smoking. It connected to an app. It gave us a graph of how you smoke during the day, and it helped people reduce their smoking. When they made sure that their software works, their hardware works, their connectivity works, the battery, the gas in it, everything related to the product, they went into the final phase, which is making the final design and investing all this money into producing this final, nice, expensive design. And the prototyping, the successful development of prototype requires making some important decisions, and among those are determining the type of the prototype that you will do and the difference that it will have from the final product. So in this case, we know that this product does not look as the final product. It has the functionalities of the final product. It does everything the final product does, but it does not look as nice as the final product. But it achieved what it wanted, what we wanted, why we did this prototype. So we will ask 5 questions that will help you choose the type of the prototype that you will be doing. وهذا كمان برجع بجدد وبقول إنه if you are developing a hardware product. So what are you trying to achieve in your prototype? Are you developing a prototype to impress your client? إذا عم تعملوا a certain vase, certain product, a new product, for example. Are you 3D printing it to show it to the client, or are you and make him impressed, or are you doing it to test it, or are you checking the functionality to improve it, or why are you developing this prototype? Sometimes investors require a prototype to pay the money. So investors, especially if it's a complicated hardware product, usually investors ask for a prototype to get convinced and to see it physically before going and paying all of money to develop this product. So are you doing that for the investor or for the client, or are you prototyping it to show it in a pitch, or are you doing it to promote this product? It depends. Why are you doing the prototype? But usually it's done to test the performance of the product before going into the final product. Where will you build your prototype? Are you building the prototype locally in the market here in Lebanon, or are you outside? And always have to compare the rates locally and outside Lebanon. Many people think that we do not have the technology here in Lebanon, and we lack a lot. But we know that we have limited resources, but we have advanced technologies and machineries that could help us produce any prototype locally. So we have various digital fabrication tools إن كان نحن كفاب لاب أو the market in the local market. يعني كل شيء من صناعة بلاستيك، كل شيء من صناعة خشب، كل شيء من صناعة everything related to software development كمان we are leading in this area. So this prototype, how much money are you spending on this prototype? So عادة when we are developing a new product في عنا budget معين. هذا البادجت معين بدنا نقسمه in a very logical way to reach the end ونوصل على product بيشتغل و functional. So it's always better to divide this budget on the phases. كم prototype ناويين تعملوا؟ قد ايه بدنا ندفع على البروتوتايب الاول، قد ايه بدنا ندفع على البروتوتايب الثاني، قد ايه بدنا ندفع على البروتوتايب الثالث. لان عاده if we don't do that sometimes the first prototype will cost a lot. It will prevent us from going forward, and that will lead to the failure of the startup before even reaching anywhere. So بنكون خلصنا المصريات and we didn't reach any place. How will you learn from this prototype? Why are you doing this prototype? How are you must prepare the data and process. Is this prototype a software or a hardware? كيف حتجمعوا الداتا؟ هل حتنزلوا على الماركت؟ هل حتروحوا على السوبر ماركت تفرجوه وتعبوا وتخلوا العالم يعبوا سيرفي، او العالم يعني how are you testing it? How are you testing the functionality? In our case, for example, we are developing right now products for to fight COVID-19 virus. We are developing face shields and ventilators and face masks. To test the functionality, and the final client in this case is our medical professionals and doctors. So to test those, we have to build the prototype, give them to the hospital, test them in real life situations, give us the replies, reiterate, fix the design. So this is prototyping. In our case, we are helping, we are prototyping to develop and reach the best design in the shortest time. Will you able to afford more prototypes? Many hardware startups fail مثل ما قلنا at the prototyping stage because when their first attempt fails, their budget does not allow to make more prototypes. So it's always better to divide the prototyping phase into stages. قسموا البادجت accordingly، حطوا priorities. لأن إذا البرودكت مثلا should لازم تقوس مي وتطير وتضرب ليزر و إذا one of them which is important doesn't work, it's stupid to continue with the rest. So إذا عم نعمل نحن مكنه راكبه عليها ليزر وبتمشي for example، اذا الليزر ما بيشتغل ما عايز نعمل السياره اللي بتمشي. So step one is bring the laser, test it on what we want to test it, and then it works. Step 2 ركبوا الدوليه بعملوا الموتور. Step 3 حطوا له ريموت كنترول او عملوا له سمارت سيستم sorry guys, working from home issues. Any questions up till now قبل ما نكمل؟ Anyone?
سوري بس في اسال سؤال. كنت عم بتقول هي شيء ديتيل يعني، بس كنت عم تقول على البرودكشن بلبنان، على قصه عندنا صناعه خشب وعندنا صناعه اشياء تانية صراحه. وين يعني كنت عم بشوف كثير، عم فتش على المواضيع، انا ما عم بلاقي صناعات بلبنان. كان في وبطلوا عم بيقولوا لي.
شو عم بتفتش؟ اي صناعات؟
سوري قطش ما سمعت.
شو عم بتفتش؟ اي صناعات؟
خشب بالتحديد.
وانا عايز باي منطقه؟
ببيروت.
طيب في عندك two major areas. هلا بلبنان كله في نجارين everywhere, so ما فينا نقول صناعه الخشب is يعني we have machinery to do everything. وفي عندك اذا عم تحكي
لا عم بحكي البرودكت، انا الرو ماتيريال يعني الخشب كله مستورد.
ايه هلا ايه اذا عم تحكي رو ماتيريال، نحن ما عندنا رو ماتيريال. انا ما حكيت رو ماتيريال، انا قلت برودكشن. نحن بلد ما في عنده رو ماتيريال، عندنا بترول وما بنستخرجه.
اوكي
فهمت قصدي؟ انه يعني انا عم بحكي برودكشن لوكالي، بس انه اذا عم تحكي بدنا نصنع خشب يعني عم نقص الارزات، ما في غيره.
طيب اوكي ميرسي.
طيب any other questions before going forward? So usually to develop when we are developing a new product at some point بدنا نوصل لشيء اسمه product requirements document اللي هو هيدا بيكون قبل الديزاين، قبل الديفلوبمنت فيز. هيدا الدوكيومنت هو اللي بدنا نقدمه للديفلوبر. هيدا الدوكيومنت يعني اذا نحن ستارت اب او نحن انتربرونورز وبدنا نجيب quotations من different hardware developers او people who do prototyping لا نشوف قد ايه بتكلف العمليه. We should submit a product requirements document, and this product requirements document should be very affects your final price. يعني بدها تكون يعني it's technically it's like a contract. When you are developing a product بده يعطيك، بدك تعطيه the specification the requirements اللي هو he should meet. يعني انت بدك تعطيه document تقول له بدي 1 2 3 and he should deliver هال 1 2 3 and this document is how you compare, how you pay him accordingly, how you set all the constraints, you set all the requirements, you set the performances, you set everything that should be considered in this product اللي هو بتحدد you submitting او you receiving the project لتقبله للبروجكت، لتستلمه للبروجي. بدك تكون انت بعت له ورقه قايل له بدي 1 2 3 وبس بده يعطيك البرودكت. لتدفع له مصاري بدك تيجي تقول له 1 done 2 done 3 done 4 done. This is the product requirements document and it differs from product to product. ممكن يكون بقلبه تفاصيل كثيره related to yes for those who ask about woodworks. Okay, and if you want by the way for woodworks اذا عم تحكي شغل بلبنان، سوري رجعنا انحرفنا. اذا عم نحكي شغل بلبنان woodworks في عندك المكلس it's an amazing sourcing خشب او producing manufacturing خشب. وفي عندك طرابلس بطبيعه الحال it's among the best in the region بتصنيع الفرنتشر. وفي many other fabrication shops. لنرجع على requirements document. So requirements document, it's written to allow people to understand what a product should do. يعني however, it does not say how it should be done. يعني requirements مثلا بنقول إنه هذا الشيء بده يعمل communication، إنه this product requires to be communicate with another product at a certain distance. It does not say إنه نحن حنستعمل Wi-Fi. الديفلوبر هو اللي بيقرر أي technology is used. فهمتوا قصدي؟ So it tells the developer what the product should do and not how the product will do it. Developer شغلته هو يقول how the product will do، اللي هيديك بنكون فتنا بالتكنيكال specifications and the functional specifications and the shop drawings والتفاصيل تبع the product in details. يعني إذا عم نحكي if we are developing a drone for example، في عنا shop drawings، في عنا drawings للدرون itself، في عنا specifications تبع كل different component، في عنا الديزاين تبع البي سي بي the printed circuit board بقلبها، وفي عنا الديزاين تبع البروبيلرز يمكن someone external عمله، في عنا الديزاين تبع الموتور اللي هو نحن already شارينه خالص من China for example. So it depends. There are many different variables. It all depends on the product that you are developing. So the product requirements document بقلبه كتير تفاصيل، عادة منهم يعني title of the document, the project scope, and the technical and business perspectives from technical and business perspectives. The stakeholder identification، مين stakeholders، مين الكلاينتس، مين بيتضرر من هالبروجكت، مين حيشتري، مين حيستفيد. Who is affected? A stakeholder is technically anyone who could be affected positively or negatively by this project. Market assessment, target demographics، انتو هالبرودكت لمين عم بتبيعوه؟ لبنات، لشباب، university students, old people, young people. Is it a luxurious item? Is it a cheap item that is targeting everyone? Is it people in underprivileged areas, refugee camps? It all كل هول affect your product and should be included in the requirements document. And the requirements include the functional requirement, the usability، كيف حتستعمل، the technical requirements, the security, the platform إذا كان في عنا software، the environmental requirements، هل هالشيء بينكب، is it recyclable، is it a one-time use, is it toxic to the environment, how are you supporting the supporting requirements, how are you supporting the client، هل في عندكم maintenance contracts، كل هالتفاصيل. And interaction requirements، how your product should work with other systems. إذا مثلا عم نحكي we are developing a new speaker for example، هل هالسبيكر بيمشي مع جوجل هوم for example؟ How does your product work with the other existing system؟ How does it work with iPhones؟ It also should include assumptions, constraints, a lot of details. Again, I can, if you are interested, I can share with you the presentation. I can send it to Joanna and she can forward it to all of you guys. Just share the email in the chat here. So ما حفوت بباقي requirements. It's mainly details about the specifications. هعملكم a brief introduction about the Fab Lab وبعدين I will give you a brief introduction about the Fab Lab and we will be open to questions. سؤال من هلا، anyone of you زار الفاب لاب قبل؟ حدا زار الفاب لاب؟ Do you know anything about the Fab Lab before? No. Anyone? شادي. Okay. طيب. So in brief حافتح سلايد بس I'm gonna كمان go through it very fast and it's a brief introduction about the Fab Lab and the machinery available in it and how you can use it to develop your prototypes. So a Fab Lab مثل ما قلنا is digital fabrication laboratory. It's a maker's space or prototyping space. It's a do-it-yourself lab. Name it what you want. It's a place where anyone, we mean by anyone, يعني you can be an engineer, a designer, and you can be a 70 years old person, or literally anyone who has an idea and want to convert it into something real. As simple as that. It's an open access lab, and by that we mean it's open for anyone. Anyone can come and check out the lab and build their projects anytime they want. The Fab Lab, it is part of an international Fab Lab community. The Fab Foundation اللي هي it spans over حاليا أكثر بكثير من 78 countries, but originally يعني the Fab Foundation currently is in the Fab Foundation we have around 1,400 Fab Labs spread all over the world. It started in MIT, and then it was spread all over the world. And the idea behind it is that we want to have a local lab where anyone can access it, and we want to achieve local sustainability on the long term. يعني let's say نحن بالمنصورية, we want to instead of buying furniture and importing everything we want and buying all the products we want من برا, we can simply produce whatever we want locally. أنا personally عامل furniture تبع part من الفurniture تبع بيتي بالفاب لاب. As يعني we live in 2020, we have many open source designs that are available online, or you can design your personalized designs and produce customized furniture, produce customized products, produce almost anything that you can imagine. And our mission as the Fab Lab is to innovate, to educate, and collaborate. So we believe that everyone should have a place to create. We believe that everyone should learn how to convert their ideas in their heads to their hands, how to design, how to do things. You don't have to go through university, and you don't have to be an engineer to make something or to learn how to do something. And collaboration. We believe in community collaboration, and we believe that advice and timely input from another person can lead to your breakthrough. يعني إذا أنت عم تشتغل على project hardware and you ask someone who has done this project before, الريسيرش اللي حياخدك 15 يوم ممكن ينحل بساعة أو نص ساعة meeting مع هذا الشخص, بيعطيك كل الريسورسز اللي عنده, and he will simplify the ideas easily. So the Fab Lab capabilities, we have various digital fabrication tools, and by digital fabrication tools we mean tools or machines that are controlled by computers. عم نحكي 3D printers, يعني كمان as digital fabrication tools we mean إنه كل الانبوتس هن usually digital modeling tools, يعني softwares, either Adobe Illustrator, SolidWorks, Fusion 360, في كتير design softwares that are used to produce various products. It depends on your background and on what you are working. And usually مثلا the 3D design, mechanical engineers use SolidWorks and Fusion 360. Architects use 3D Max and Grasshopper and Rhino, for example. Graphic designers use Illustrator and Photoshop. It depends on your background and on the final product. So if you're building a sticker, you go through Illustrator. If you want to 3D print a product, you go through a 3D modeling software. If you want to laser cut something, you just do it easily on AutoCAD in 2D, for example. So the digital fabrication tools we have are 3D printers, and by that we mean it is a printer that can print in any product you can imagine. So this is 3D printed. It's plastic. You can print any shape you can imagine in very easy and complicated shapes. Let me show you some. So it could be very complicated. This is a vase, for example, and it could be parts of machines. It could be gears. It could be anything. It could be anything related to developing a physical part, a 3D part. في عنا كمان بعدكم معي, right? And we have bigger 3D printers. We have SLA 3D printers that are a different technology. It's different 3D printing technology, and it's much more advanced. It has a higher precision, high quality, and it's used to print various structures on a high quality level and on a very tiny level. You can print jewelry, you can print very functional gears, you can print very durable products, you can print molds that are used for injection molding and handle high temperatures, you can print rubber material that are flexible, مثل caoutchouc. So it depends on your application. You choose the material and the technology that you are using. We have 3D scanning, and this is used usually to scan an object that already exists to make something close to it. So إذا بدنا نعمل an example, إذا بدنا نعمل cover تليفون بيعملوا scanning للتليفون بيعملوا cover accordingly. But in this case we have the original design. إذا بدنا نعمل مثلا a gear that cannot be found in the market due to the current situation, we can simply scan an existing gear and print it, or mold and cast it, or CNC mill it to produce this final gear. And another example, I had a client, she's in the 70s, in her 70s, she's an artist, and she sculpts by hand, عجفسين. So she does not know how to design 3D, but she knows how to sculpt by hand. So she used to sculpt and bring those parts to the lab so that we can scan them and print other parts of the same design using the traditional method. So this is an example. CNC machining is CNC machining. It's when it's usually we put a big board to produce final products, and it could be 2D, it could be 3D. Also, this is a good example of a CNC machine table. It is it's simply designed on a software. We start with a piece of wood to make the final table that is assembled to make the final shape. So you can produce large shapes and thin material, and you can make parts that could be assembled to make a huge house. So you control the scale of the products. We have laser cutters, so you can cut and engrave on various materials like acrylics, plastics, anything that's not metallic mainly. So you can cut in 2D any shape that is not metallic. And this on a laser cutter, it's our favorite machine. You can do millions of things. We are currently we are producing face shields for medical professionals on our laser cutter in the lab. We can make boxes, souvenirs, we can make keychains, we can cut cloth, leather, technically anything that is not metallic you can cut on this machine or break. Also make print stickers in the lab. You can make stickers and logos, and we have a vinyl cutter and a vinyl printer and cutter. We also have a vacuum forming machine. So if you want to produce something, if you want to produce a mold, to use this mold and produce and mass produce, for example, إذا بدنا نعمل قوالب شوكولا, we can simply design the shape on a 3D printer, vacuum form this shape on the vacuum forming machine, نعمل هيدي الشيت البلاستيك اللي هو بنصب فيه شوكولا وبنرجع خلص بنصير نصب فيه للقالب اللي عملناه. So this is vacuum forming, and we have a lot of power that are used by people who build their products. We also have an electronics workbench where you can develop your electronic PCBs mainly. So we either use commercial development boards that are existing in the market, مثل Arduinos or Raspberry Pis or National Instruments equipment, or we can design and produce locally PCBs BLab. That's it for now. As for the lab, mainly we have a membership fee. It's $100 per year for professionals, and it's $50 per year for students, and it gives you access to everything in the lab in terms of machinery, in terms of computers and the software on computers, and our expertise. So how it goes, usually people come with their ideas or their designs, and we advise them and help them on fixing their design and help them produce it to build their final prototype. So that's it for now. I'm gonna put a video of the Fab Lab right now, just to get an idea of it, and then we will ask me questions in the meantime if you have any questions.
هاي وائل، أول شيء ثانك يو، يعطيك العافية.
الله يعافيك.
إذا بدنا ناخذ الممبرشيب للفاب لاب، أول شيء فينا نكون عم ناخذ شيء شو في عندكم على المضبوط، وهل بس ننزل إذا بدنا مساعدة بشي ماشين في على طول سبورت، أو إذا بدنا شي غراض لها؟
يس أكيد. ما هو لأقلك كيف أكيد ما we will not trust you to use the machine on your own, at least on the first couple of times. يعني it depends on your background. هو الفكرة with the membership هو يعني on the long term goal is to teach you how to do your job. So our job is to teach people how to use digital fabrication tools to build their ideas بالأخير. عرفت كيف؟ So usually people come with a project design, and our job is to teach you how to 3D print this design, or how to laser cut this design, or how to CNC machine, or how to prepare the design itself for a laser cutter or a CNC. يعني especially عم نحكي يعني the two most dangerous machines in the lab are the laser cutter and the CNC machine. So on the short term, we do the job for you, at least when you are sitting on our side طبعا, to show you how it's done the right way. And with time بتصير انت بتفوت على اللاب بتقول لي مرحبا نازل استعمل الليزر كتر وبتخلص وبتفل. You just mark down كم دقيقة صرفت, and that's it, as simple as that. So later in time you will pay as you go based on how much you consume in time. So كل material كل machine لها charge بالوقت. Joanna, do you have the link, by the way, of the video, because I can't find it?
فينا ناخذ شي ليستا شو في عندكم ماشينز
أكيد.
وبعدين شو فيها؟
all the details related to the machines بالتفصيل الممل مع كل ماشين، شو بتتحمل ماتيريال، شو السكيل تبعها، شو كل شيء is found on our website. So حابعت لكم اللينك هلا على الشات. It's fablab.berytech.org. Under machines you can see everything related to the details of the machine itself. Just give me a second to find the video and I'll get back to you. Any questions? Any other questions لهلا؟
Hello.
Yes. Yes تفضلي.
Yes. أنا ما كنت بآخر بارت بس بدي أسألك على product requirement documents.
ايه.
سامعني منيح؟
Yes. ايه شو بدك تسألي؟
هلا إذا نحن بالبروتوتايبنج فيز إنه بدنا نعطي وكل هالأمور اللي هي إذا
هو
أخذت الأيديا تبعيتي إنه أنا إذا رحت على
how to protect this
manufacturer
is
صار إنه
معي this is the القلق اللبنانية كلهم. Everyone thinks that their idea is the $1 million idea and they don't want anyone to steal it. Unless your idea is really a 1 million or a $1 billion idea, don't worry about that, because you're the one who's done the research, you're the one who did the development, and حتى لو شو ما عملت يعني اذا انت عاطي الشخص ديزاين وهو عمله بلا ما يكون فهمان كيف عمله they will never succeed. And usually اذا عم تحكي on a normal level, usually when you do that the person اللي عم تشتغلي معه signs an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, so he will be legally binded and he will be legally مسؤول later. يعني ما في حدا اساسا بيشتغل بهالمصلحه بيصرح عن الايديا او بيروح بينقل الايديا تاعيلتك عن شخص ثاني او كذا لانه بيحترق سوقه. So people who work in the product development industry they already know that انه برجع بقول لك unless your product is $1 million idea you don't have to be scared of that. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Guys, questions? Okay. ما حدا؟ طيب لكن if you want this presentation, please send an email to Joanna and she will forward it to you guys. I'm still trying to find the video اللي بدي أحضركم إياه. Unfortunately ما عم بلاقيه.
وائل حطيتها يا هي in one of my in the chat. I found on YouTube.
يلا فينا نفتحه هلا لكن.
كرمال الباوربوينت if you can send it to me in PDF and I will put it on the shared folder with all resources.
Sure. طيب. All right.
Hi, welcome to Berytech Fab Lab. I'm Wael Khalil and I'll be giving you a tour today here in this Fab Lab. This is the 3D printing area. We have 3MDF printers that you can use to print any shape that you can imagine. '3D printing is used for fast prototyping. Objects are created by heating a continuous plastic filament and laying it in layers to make the final shape. We also have SLA 3D printers. SLA 3D printers are used to produce
produce high-quality, high-resolution prints using various materials. Those magic boxes are equipped with UV lasers that cure liquid resin layer by layer. This allows us to create irregular shapes that cannot be made using traditional manufacturing methods. This is the manufacturing area. This is where things get serious. In this area, you can create anything from a small lantern to your next dining table. Our laser beast can cut or engrave any non-metallic material. With such versatility, imagine the things that you can create and customize. This is the CNC machine, and it's where we make big things. And we really mean big things, from furniture to interior or exterior decoration, and even your own botanical grow room. You can also mill any material into your own 3D designed pattern. Oh, and our electronics lab is where your projects come to life by using existing development boards or building your own PCBs. So guys, this is a wrap up. I have to give you, we have a workshop. Check out our website. All right. So as I said, guys, this is a wrap up. And any questions before we leave? Hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any additional questions, I will give you my email in the chat. Please send me an email anytime and we will reply to you. .org. Bye bye, guys.